Hey everyone, welcome back to Redditly. Today we have two stories, so make sure you stick around for the second story as well. The first one is titled, Can You Ever Get Past a Cheating Wife? Please make sure you like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you never miss a future upload. Let's get right into it. 6 months later, and after she changed her email, passwords, etc., she was spotted with this guy again. We had the same "I'm sorry, I regret it," etc., because news of her infidelity was spreading between our circles of friends. I concocted a story about her trying to get her to leave her alone and making out she was a victim. We asked to see her phone, she resisted, and my daughter had to physically grab it, and there were messages from this guy. She stayed at a friend's that night and swore blind he had messaged her out of the blue. Just before Christmas 2019, my wife told me she was going to see a friend for a cup of tea. When it seemed a bit strange, one of my teenage daughters looked on her phone to see where she was. She was 50 miles away in a restaurant. I asked if she wanted to tell me anything, and she claimed she was trying to buy me a wonderful gift. There are no shops in this village. The next day, she told me she had stupidly agreed to meet this guy for a drink, but reclaimed now what a mistake it was, and she was desperately sorry. A few days ago, one of my daughters told me that my wife had had personal message with love hearts, etc., and when she had blamed it on one of our friends' kids. Do people ever change? I'm a nice guy who had provided for my family and will be classed as one of the good guys out there. I cannot spend the rest of my life going through this negative toxic relationship. I love my wife and kids, and even they are a bit surprised I'm still with her. Anyone been through similar and had it work out well? And the second story is titled, My Wife Has Been Cheating Since Our First Year Anniversary. Let's get right into it. I'm new to this community and very early in the recovery process, but here is my story. Me and my wife were married in August of 2019. Things weren't easy, we fought a decent amount, but never to the point where I thought we were in danger of losing each other. We both had our struggles along the way. I had been in active recovery for a pee addiction for over 6 years while she was starting her therapy journey to address childhood incestuous abuse. I thought we were on the right track. When August 2020 came along, our relationship still had its rough spots, but it was the first year of marriage. It was supposed to be this hard, right? I believe that even though we weren't where we are now, we were at least in a better spot than when we started. A couple weeks into August, my wife became more and more distant. She spent more and more time with her male friends from work. I began to have concerns, but every time I broached them with her, she would lay my fears to rest. You are the one who struggles with lust, not me. I am never one-on-one. I just make friends better with guys, etc. Despite my misgivings, I figured she was right. After all, I was the one who struggled with pee. I needed more boundaries than she did, right? We had to talk early in our marriage that we wanted to set the boundary of never being in a one-on-one setting with someone of the opposite sex. We wanted to be above a reproach. When she did acknowledge this conversation, she didn't think it was necessary for her, that her struggles weren't with us and I should be okay with her hanging out with male coworkers. After all, they are all Christian guys working at a Christian restaurant. What could happen? In mid-August, we celebrate our anniversary. During this time, we decided to go on a large group trip where we would rent an Airbnb in the Northern Peninsula. During this trip, a lot of our closest friends came with, including the guy I would come to learn she was having an affair with. During the trip was when my suspicions really ramped up. She was very distant from me and spent more and more one-on-one time with this guy despite my misgivings. Things really came to a head when I came back one night and realized they were out alone in the lake swimming together. It had gotten to the point where even some of her other friends called her out on her behavior. Fast forward on August 30th, D-Day happened. I had been very suspicious by now, and every night when she came home, the questions of where have you been and who have you been with would ensue. I didn't think she was having an affair, but I told her that I believed she was at risk for having an affair, that no one could spend this much one-on-one time in intimate settings with someone else and not develop feelings. I never thought I would get a divorce, but the choice is being made for me. Even if she did want to work on things, I'm not sure I could. I'm living with my parents right now, and this is all too much sometimes. Anyways, on the 30th, we were leaving church and she was again acting very distant. I decided to ask her straight up, "Are you invested in this marriage?" That's when she replied, "We need to talk." She took me to a park and told me that what has been happening. She told me it has been going on since the anniversary. She said she loves this guy and does not plan to stop seeing him. This was just about a month ago. During our few interactions since then, she has made it very clear she does not want back in the marriage, even if this guy wasn't in the picture. She told me that if our marriage wasn't already crumbling, that she wouldn't have gone looking. My brain knows that this is bogus, but my heart still thinks it is my fault. In the meantime, she has continued to see this guy, post on Instagram about how much she loves him, and tell her friends about how I should have fought for her more. Something worth noting is that she is a manager at this Christian restaurant, and the guy is a new hire. Apparently, her boss is aware and has chosen to forgive her, aka cover it up and go against all their values. I still wear the ring, not ready to take it off. I know she doesn't, but still. There are times when I feel excited for the future, but other times when just doing basic tasks is too hard. I can't sleep, too many graphic dreams, and I'm just trying to get by. I do have things to keep me busy, but I do have a new job starting in October, which will be helpful, but that is where I'm at. I found it difficult to find people who can relate. I am thankful to this community. Update: going to see a lawyer on Tuesday, says it should be simple process from a logistical standpoint at least. I have gone back to seeing my therapist once a week. He is a counselor who is Christian but not a Christian counselor, aka doesn't answer everything with "just pray about it" or "God works in a mysterious way" or any of that BS. We'll bring that stuff into the session if I ask him to, but not uninvited. The restaurant she works at is Chick-fil-A. She always talked about how their Christian values set them apart from other places. Another update: I don't know what the proper format is for posting updates, so someone feel free to correct me if I'm doing it wrong. I found out that she has been telling people that the reason we are separated is because I was abusive. I talked with my lawyer and he said that the only way that could hurt me is if she filed for PPO, and the only way she could do that is if she had a concrete evidence. That means no going to her work, contacting her, etc. Yesterday, I got the ring back, which was really difficult. My lawyer will send her documents to sign, and if she doesn't contest anything, we can move forward with scheduling a hearing, which was about a 2-month waiting period.